He's in.
Oh, Kisei! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCO, delivered by Menulog. Skimmy, what's on your arm there? No, that's not what I wanted. Anyway, it was supposed to show the Menulog and say, hey, it's Menulog meal time, but that might, yeah, beautiful. First time's the charm. Hopefully that didn't crack. But
First time I've seen you curl.
Never in my life, mate. I call that a bench, actually.
That's a bench.
Yeah, I'm never gonna let that play come down with Draku when he's like doing curls, and I'm like, oh, he's benching us.
Yeah, everyone got so upset.
They were very
upset
at me.
Yeah,
very true.
Yeah, fitness is not my speciality.
I probably would have screamed, but I'm glad I wasn't there. Either way, look, you guys, Menu Pogs in the chat, win that $30 voucher, or at least go in the running to win that $30 voucher that you can use on Menulog. Get yourself something sweet for dinner, something savory for dessert. I don't know what you're into, but that sounds kind of weird to me. Either way, let's talk savory delights. What comes to your mind when I say that?
Sausage roll.
Yeah? Or
yeah, can't beat a good sausage roll and tomato ketchup or tomato sauce, whatever you want to call it. Pick your poison.
Yeah, it's actually a really good choice.
It just goes so hard. It's just throwbacks to me at high school, down to the tuck shop. You know, you go to the cafeteria, boom. Yep. I'm sussed. I'm ready for a whole day of learning and education, because that's the substance I need.
What's all savory?
Or pies.
Pies, yeah. I mean, he said sausage roll, and it's hard to get off that like journey.
Yeah, when I'm on that, I'm like, yeah, the taste, the pepper, the salt, just it's all in there. It's a mush when you really think about it, but it tastes good. You know, Kitty, what's your thoughts on savory delights?
Savory delights? I think other than sausage rolls and meat pies, I would actually like a cheese board.
A cheese board? Yeah.
A cheese board, I think they go hard.
I feel like cheese boards, definitely with a few people around a table, good yarn, good couple of those spun. Oh, yes. And the cheese goes down well too.
Or a picnic with a cheese board.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not going to add on to it. It's just a picnic.
It's actually National Picnic Month.
Yeah, of course it is.
We already asked that the other week, and I just didn't want to go back down that hole. Either way, I love digging holes at the beach and getting on waves, taking a surf all the way to game number 2, which is coming up right now. Who are we going to have a look at first? That's the real question. Skimmy, take me through this star-studded damn roster the Chiefs are bringing to the table.
They are certainly star-studded. They are the superstars. The Chiefs coming into this one still undefeated, 14-0, the biggest win streak ever in LCO history. Bigger than their win streak last blood 13. They are just going on another level, and we certainly are singing their praises, and rightfully so, but they were challenged. They certainly were challenged yesterday. Yeah. Really big ask up against Kanga, and it just continues to fuel all the speculation from ourselves and from the fans. You know, will it end? Or, you know, are there teams that can really, look to try and contest them once we get to playoffs?
Well, let's see if Mammoth can do their best damn job today because, well, they really have to do that to keep up with the Chiefs. We know what Mammoth can bring to the table, and it's a lot of fun. Voice yesterday, I feel like, wasn't able to show us what he's made of on that Seraphine. It was much more of a safe pick, but I really like watching Voice when he gets to do those explosive, crazy things. Last time, Chiefs and Mammoth went head-to-head. Of course, Chiefs went for the big fatty dub because, well, they haven't lost at all, and so no one's actually beat them yet. And Mammoth, they want to be that first team today, Rusty.
I mean, yesterday's game is still something that we have to discuss for Mammoth's sake, right? As to when we spoke to Voice in an interview, I believe it was a post-game victory, he said that he has to play crazy aggressive because, one, it's his style, but two, he has scaling top lane and mid lane players, right? So it's always Kale Corky. That's kind of like the identity of Mammoth if you think about them as champions.
Yeah.
And then yesterday they picked the Seraphine style, right? So they played slow through bot lane, and then what we saw was 30 minutes of slow play into a loss. So it does feel like missing that wild card, that aggression, that X factor that exists with Voice is quite crucial for Mammoth, and they need him to be aggressive to succeed.
And it also goes to that topic of Chiefs even being honest about it and saying the way that teams are going to beat us is by playing for an early to mid-game win rather than playing to scale. So Mammoth, if Voice just gets on something a little more aggressive that can just really get up in their faces early, and we get to see Mikru on something a little bit more assassin-y rather than the Corkies, I feel like they can definitely do it.
You know, me and Matt kind of mentioned how, yes, a lot of people have been first being that Seraphine, and out of the few times we've seen it, 2 of them were ADC games, and we just feel like this Seraphine ADC isn't as impactful as a Seraphine mid, because I feel like if Seraphine is placed mid, she's able to rotate to a lot of those team fights a lot earlier, especially when it's a Rift Herald-centric kind of meta, where a lot of teams prefer that over Dragon. So I feel like, yes, it works mid, but not ADC for the teams in LCO currently.
Yeah, we saw a lot of it yesterday. Saw it every single game yesterday. We're 1 from 1 today. I wonder if we're going to see it slip through the cracks again. Maybe we see Raze on it. Tally, he can play bloody everything, so he could play it as well. Definitely members of all these teams that can all pick it up. So anything else crazy, you know, head-to-head that we want to talk about?
The biggest thing for me, Mac, is the fact that last time they played up against each other, the game was won in 21 minutes and 52 seconds. The quickest game of the entire split. Literally, Chiefs went out the gates and said, we're trying to beat the record game after game. It's like 25 down to 23 down to this one. So what was it? It was a blind Fiora from Pat Price from memory, right? Got punished by the Vladimir from Tapoon. He said, don't ever do that again. Yeah. And they kind of just stomped them. So I think, yeah, if you're really looking to try and invest in some early game, maybe, you know, the mid-late still can be quite rough. Of course, it's up against the Chiefs, for sure.
Oh, it was the Fiora Udi attack.
That's
right. Gnarly combo.
Not too happy about that one, but I'd be saying Mammoth will want to look at that and be like, we don't want to be the record anymore.
Well, let's see. Because I'm sure Raze has an opinion on this, and he probably wants to break that record today. Am I right with that statement? Are you going to break that speed run today?
Yeah, like I'd be really happy to like be able to break it again, but we're still not going to like disrespect any of our opponents, so just want a clean win.
Beautiful.
And you guys had not the cleanest game out of all of your games throughout the split so far. In that game up against Kengo, where you guys had a really close brawl. So what was Reflection like after last night?
At least my biggest takeaway, like, I think every time I died, I kind of, at least my early deaths, like I saw them, like the Foreigner level 2, the 2v3 gank, like we knew he was like camping behind them, because like if he wasn't there, their bot would have been like in a really bad state, so but we just like had to go in, so we died to that, and it just snowballed from there, and we kind of got like traded off, and we played weak side really poorly that game, but ultimately we just like won through macro and team fighting, so yeah, not really happy with like that game, but it is what it is.
Okay, so going into today's games, what do we expect in a little bit more focus towards the bottom to try to keep it cleaner for you guys in the bot lane?
Yeah, just like less disrespectful. I just didn't really want to give like CS, I guess, when I didn't have, I mean, when I had to, so, which like resulted in me dying like a couple of times, so I don't think I'll be in that position again today. I just played poorly yesterday, but okay, yeah, just try to play more clean.
Yeah, very good. Well, I hope that one works well. I've been told you need to get into the Rift. You're late for your important date race, so we're going to let you go.
All right, thank you.
Enjoy the game. Always good to chat with him. Good to get a bit of insight on what went wrong yesterday and what's changing going into today's games. Twitch points. You guys got them. I know you won heaps last time, so I want to see them all put back in again for this one, for the Dare fan vote. Get them in. Tell us what you think's going to happen. I think we saw like 19 or 20-ish% for Gravitas last game, so in these Chiefs games, I'm literally seeing Chiefs get over 90% every single time. Is that going to happen again? Maybe. I know it might happen for our predictions. I don't know if anyone's feeling too risque. That conversation we had about when's it going to end? When are we going to start going for the underdogs? It's still going because I haven't caved. I kind of enjoy being up and, you know, in the race.
God, it's crazy how fun it is to participate.
I really enjoy beating Rusty.
It's nuts.
Anyway.
We'll save them all for playoffs, aren't we? Surely. That's when all the curveballs are going to happen.
We'll see. Maybe all the way into the DreamHack Arena. That might be when we go, okay, underdogs only, live that order.
Well, we could raise the stakes.
Story again.
If it's close enough, we could raise the stakes. Turn it into a bit of a gamble for the finals.
Yeah.
Bit of a pride bet.
Double, extra, triple.
I don't know.
It
could be a punishment for losing. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. I love punishment.
Or reward for winning.
Big sucker for that.
Mac loves punishment.
Yep.
Fair enough.
What do we? I think this is one for the conversation over the next couple of days as to what we're going to do as said punishment for the losers at the finals. Right after everyone's done the trophy.
Loser dresses up as Yumi.
Dresses up as... That's just dressing up as a cat.
That's a nightmare.
Oh.
True.
On stage?
Kitty.
You want to dress up as a cat on stage? It's casual.
I'm all down for entertainment, and while I stew on that, Champ Select's ready. Me and Kitty, we're going to go get my cat costume ready.
Let's try and find out where you can get
Just wants to dress up as a cat.
a Yumi onesie from. Where? Maybe it's out there. Maybe somebody's designed it. I'm sure they have. What I can tell you, though, is that the Chiefs are going to start here with first pick. Banning away to Senate, banning away to Corki as well, saying, Miku, you can't play it 7 times in a row, even if you wanted to.
Yumi and Lysandra are going to be taken away as well here by Mammoth.
Yeah.
Specifically banned from the Chiefs. Seraphine finally
The first
is
ban.
going to be banned away for the first time this week as well. So first pick has to be a little bit different. Wukong still left up and available. We know that Arthur is a very proficient Viego, so banning away the Wukong and giving Viego may just be saying, you know, like, we know you're good, but we might have more of a counter for that. And I think the Chiefs have looked a little bit too clean when they're given the Wukong, right? They have the Wukong Rakan that they've comboed. And that's the other champion that we have to talk about going through this draft, right? Lysandra and Swain going to be taken off the board. It knows that we have Wukong ready to go. We have a Rakan available for Alidoric as well if he wants it. And they have plenty of options in their draft still.
Question becomes then, does Mammoth just respond with a Zeri pick? Because that would seem to be the go-to.
What do you do when Corki's gone?
Yeah, well, that's it.
How do they exist without Corki?
What do we take instead? Is it just a Yone and just lay down the beat against Tally? You ban a Lysandra,
Blind
perhaps.
pick Victor.
He doesn't want to do that
The
again.
funny thing about Mikru, right, is like when he first joined the league, we looked at his account and we're like, that's an Akali Yone player. Like,
Assassin player,
this
yeah.
guy goes crazy with it. And then just like 6 games in a row of Corki. has not done that at all. I think standard so far from Mammoth. I do wonder if they have a pick that can be considered a flex for third, or if they're just going to prioritize a mid lane or perhaps, you know, matching champion to what the Chiefs go for here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Chiefs lock in their bot lane, but with Senna gone, they might have priority elsewhere. Zeri obviously does stand to attention, as does the Rakan, so it'd be rude not to, really, with both of them there just prior to a ban phase. And I think you've hovered Rakan for too long to switch from it now. You're probably just gifting a ban. So you probably do just lock in Rakan.
There's no way you don't take it at this stage, right? And if you're looking at that and tuning in just now and saying, how did the Chiefs get these first 3 picks? You're thinking
that's
that
what
is
I'm saying.
Highly, highly illegal. Mammoth, though, clearly playing to their tendencies, which is we want a lot of early game skirmishing. Callista and Renata will obviously empower that. And then, you know, Corki doesn't exist. Cool, we're still going to play that Kayle.
Pick me Kayle, guys.
Lock it in, Chief.
It is only Topoon that I'm playing against.
Only.
It's only Topoon.
Doesn't matter.
Let's see how far into the champion pool Topoon is willing to go to really pick apart this Kayle. We've seen Nasus counter picks. We've seen a 0-4 Paprise during laning phase. We know that he's seemingly just mentally the most Titan player you've ever seen in your life, right? Just locks in Kayle, dies a million times in laning phase, scales and wins the game. Somehow the resilience on this man is unmatched through the league.
He's gambling his win rate on this game against the Chiefs. The strongest team in the league, and he says 100% win rate on Kayle. Let's keep it that way.
Put it all on the line. He's confident enough in the champion. He's confident enough in the scaling. You can see the Jax. You can see the Nasus bans away by Mammoth. They don't want to give the free champions to Topoon, but you can see the sly grin on Topoon's face. June's got counters for days. And realistically, you don't even need to counter it, right? If you just play for a winning rest of the map and you can close out before it becomes an issue, Chiefs, I think, will be very comfortable with that, and just having, like, you know, the Gnar that still exists and is very profoundly powerful here in the LCO. And Topoon in particular is so good with Gnar that it feels like it's a different champion in his hands. He just controls it so well. But, like, it wouldn't surprise me if that's just what we go for.
They're going to get that protection, though, right? Banning with the Nasus as well as the Jax, saying you can't look to try and really take me in a 1v1, so it could just be a default to a Gnar if that were the case. We've cycled through a million different champions and finally settled on Udyr.
Okay, yeah, so we have an Udyr to gank a Kayle lane. We have a Renata and a Callista. You can throw the Renata in for some kind of setup and angles, but mostly it's going to be about finding wide flanks for Mayfun if he's going to look for anything. You can see Mikru saying do it in his cams for the Taliyah hover. Tally's still got plenty of options for mid lane. Of course, you see the Wukong, you have freedom to pick whatever you would like. Now that your jungler has the engage built into his kit, one of the few junglers that does, you can play follow-up mid laners.
Yeah.
You could play your Xerath if you want. The only issue for Tally is that he's blind picking.
Begs the question, what would he be comfortable blind picking in this occasion?
How long is it going to take? Okay, there we go. So it is going to be the Taliyah locked in. What does Mikru pick? That's the question.
Aatrox, the 5th and final pick here for Topoon, who, may I just add, 6th in the entire world for solo kills at 15.
A lot of solo kills. I honestly, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to jinx this as a possibility. Zed's one of the few champions that doesn't have a dash as an assassin. So Talia's Pebbles with the E don't do as much. They're not going to force a stun on you. And it is going to get locked in here. So the wild card option of Mikru, who we said is an assassin player, for the first time in almost forever, will play an assassin when his Corki is denied.
No one plays the Z into my Corki, so you ban it away, and I'll just show you how to do it myself. What a way to open up this draft, gambling all in on that win rate there for the Cal. The Z to showcase what it can do, and hopefully the highway to early game success in a Callista Renata. But the Chiefs, right? First 3 picks, best in slot, you'd have to say.
Without a doubt, I still think Aatrox is like an A-tier top laner, and Talia, while it is a little bit weak early and there's going to be very clear windows where a Zed may be able to control you, especially with an Ignite on that Zed, Talia scales into the game to be obnoxiously strong. And it means that you don't really get to play Callista at all if there is an E on the ground, because you can't auto-attack and then hop, you just have to auto-attack and hold for the animation. With that in mind, Mammoth don't actually have many dashes, so the value of the E itself is not that great. It's more, I think, the mobility of the Talia pick, the ability to go towards the side lanes as well with your jungler, and a Wukong and Talia working together have got a fair amount of burst potential and side lane threat. So I think that's mostly where the Chiefs are going to be going here with their composition. Aatrox is, I want to say, a surprisingly weak champion early, and KO will have a good level 1 through perhaps 3. But at like level 6 onwards, you know, that first recall, perhaps with just an Iron Spike whip to conquer a better top end, we'll start looking for those solo kills in his 1v1. For sure.
It begs the question, right? Because we do see a lot of people when they go into an Aatrox matchup feel rushed to try and get some Grievous Wounds online. ASAP, Bramble Vest, in this case, perhaps a Kempunk Sword instead. Whether or not that is the tax that has to be paid to try and deal with this one. But what we learned from Chiefs yesterday is you can look to try and put their bot lane down, but they can carry from literally any position. Certainly going to be easier said than done. But Mammoth have thrown the bone and said we can be aggressive. We can try and hit you with some aggression as well. We can showcase what we can do in this game. Well, let's load in then for that second matchup of the night. A big one here. As Chiefs would love to go 15-0, and they're going to go for a cheeky little level 1 here. Paprai is going to hold his flash to the last moment. The damage has already been done. Back to base he goes.
Do we have a coach interview, or do I break down what's happening?
What it is ready now. We are waiting for confirmation from production.
I didn't want to, yeah.
No, absolutely. And Babbitt, joining me in the line. Mate, how are we?
I'm good. How are you, Skibby?
Always a pleasure. Doing well, doing well. Well, I have to ask, you know, what a game it was last night, right? A new record. You seem to be pretty good at those records. Quickest game against this team last time. The most kills were 48 last night. Talk to me about that game in general. You know, has that really been your toughest match, would you say, so far?
It sure looked like the toughest match, to be honest. No, I think the boys were just having a bit too much fun. Gonna keep it clean for the rest of the split.
Sure, I mean, looking at this draft, tell me, because I saw the fact those first 3 picks insanely strong for the patch, for the players. Were you surprised you got those?
During the draft, we realized that they were kind of looking to trade like OPs. They wanted Callista and Otto, and we just traded Wukong, Zeri, which we're like comfortable with, and yeah.
Just the Chiefs tax, you just get what you want, and the bans are just not enough to try and lock you down. Well, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to hope that this game delivers as well, and hopefully clean close up to the week.
Thank you very much.
All right, so as we get really into this game and get to knuckle down, bot lane is looking towards their level 2 spikes. LG and Voice will trade out negatively a little bit on their HP to make sure they get the levels, and they'll be able to crash the wave. Top lane has been going relatively well for Topoon. Now, the lead-on effect to what happened at level 1 from Paprise isn't that he has to teleport back to the lane or anything. It is that he has to flash over the wall. Talia starts the game with a point in E, so it was a bit of a rougher level 1 in mid. But really it means that Topoon gets to start this wave and this lane however he would like, right? Gets to crash, gets to bounce and push waves. So you're seeing a big wave here that is most likely about to crash and bounce back towards Topoon, who can choose to reset if he wants. Now that crash is confirmed, get an early item spike, that overkill if he wants to. and then bring his jungler down. However, the jungler is bot lane, threatening LEG.
He certainly is, and LEG's in a lot of trouble. The threat is large enough to commit an exhaust and a flash to disengage away, but not enough to force out a kill attempt.
Aladoric also using exhaust and heal from Raze. I think beyond that trade, it's a lot. It's probably not an amount that you actually want to burn. Top side, however, Mayfun is going to secure the Scuttle Crab. And Arthur just going to have to go for an invade. So instead of playing towards perhaps the KO lane, right, where you could bounce the wave back, try and crash it towards your turret and threaten the ganks, they're just going to reveal their position towards bottom lane and honestly trade even with summoner spells when they're the ones enacting the gank.
Let's see if that comes back to haunt them. And whether or not Mammoth can look to try and lay down some siege of their own, still having the Ignite available. That's the only summoner for combat prowess that is there. Just noting Tapoon's positioning as well. That wave is making its way back towards him.
Ooh, Tally in trouble.
Tally is in trouble. There is the seismic shove to try and disengage away. The rocky pebbles to try and answer back. He just sidesteps out the shuriken, and Arthur's here to tag team in. Says, I'll take it from here, Chief. But hang on a minute. That's a very angry bear. And he just literally walks away.
Just counters the UD by walking slightly faster. Standard. That was really close by Mikuru. He flashes to try and get an auto attack E off, right? And someone that is below half health takes bonus damage from Zed's auto attacks. That with the Ignite he was hoping would be enough, but it was one tick away and the Q just being dodged out by Tally. Papri's going to take a pretty large health chunk there, and of course you can see that the Monkey King is hovering in the area, but was spotted on a ward. And again, nothing really going to happen as a result of good vision from both teams, right? They knew that Udi was near mid. It's just that Tally was into a Zed matchup. Manages to keep his exhaust, all things considered, but did have to flash. So level 6 is usually that big break point. And that's actually true for most Zed lanes.
Okay.
Level 6 is like, you get one shot at it if you're Zed, and you snowball out of control if that's a kill.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't have Ignite for that. And Tally has exhaust.
Does have the advantage with that rune choice of the Unsealed Spellbook to consistently be a pest. In jumps Aladoric, working with that predictable movement of a Callista, navigating it in the lane. LAG with the handshake, just saying, calm down for a second. Huge health trade, though, still in favor of the Chiefs.
They're consistently trading up there. Mayfun is going to clear vision, and Topwin knows that he's there and just doesn't care. It's just going to walk Paprise. Take away a whole lot of health and trying to hold them here to keep the wave before it crashes. Mayfun forcing that one in.
Yeah, very aggressively. Mikuru does have level 6 advantage. Doesn't matter if he doesn't have an Ignite. If he can just go for the death mark right now, in he jumps, instant exhaust, really trimming the burst. Does Tally still die? Popped like a pimple, and that's first blood.
Tally actually wasting his W. So the reason that that kill gets to happen in the first place, because that was a nice trade initially from Mikuru, is that Tally uses the seismic shove, it goes wide, and the cooldowns cycle through from this Zed. So Mikuru playing well, but Tally also with a mistake there. Feels like uncharacteristic of the mid laner of the Chiefs.
Certainly does. Oh, Aladoric just going to be shy of landing that entrance in. But it felt like he'd done everything right, bar the initial engage right with the exhaust, but even still, level 6.
Yeah, Ignite or no Ignite, the exhaust doesn't mean enough. Apparently he'll have the lethal range. Tear Seeker's arm guard going to be rushed by Tally. There was a time where that was overpowered. It has since been nerfed. And the fact that this Zed gets to start the game off with a kill does wonders for his laning phase. At the same time, hasn't been able to keep up with the farm of Tally, who has been pushing in waves quite nicely.
Let's see then, what does it mean for the game as a whole? You said that first ult has to land a punch, much like a Twisted Fate, much like a Nocturne as well, but does that free him up? Try and influence the map elsewhere. Would love to see a rotate towards bot side. Hold that thought for a second. Paprice's flash is on cooldown again. Tapoon really laying down the law.
Yeah, almost immediately after having the flash available, Paprise has to burn that one. Topin, of course, trading them this time around, but is threatening for the kill at all times. Just hunting. Needs to have the dash. Paprise not level 6, but is 1 minion away. If Topin's not careful, if that was baited by Paprise, there was a chance that that goes awry, but now that Paprise has the ultimate, there's no... I don't think the dive is real unless Paprise makes a mistake. Look at the CS difference, though, up until that wave's collected. Again, just being bodied out.
Here we go. Could be the same case in the bottom lane as well. Ooh. Handshake goes out. Ali, nice work by himself there. They're going to try and trim this kill attempt with level 6 advantage. Only really benefiting the Zeri. Mayfan has been very present on the map, running all over the show to try and show face and try and influence things, but he's been farming up a treat as well.
Mayfan ghosting.
He's got the ghost. There is the grand entrance. There's the flash forward from LEG and raised the target, and he tried to flash to the wall to skate across, but dead before that can really become a reality.
Yeah, confidence from Mammoth. Mayfan sees the angle. He says this is going to happen at all costs. You know, the ultimate was expended by Raze. The flash ends up being used. I don't know if exhaust was on cooldown or not from Alidoric, but it's there and was potentially ready. And just a hair's breadth away from perhaps getting the safety was Raze as he was mid-dash animation over the wall.
Good start here for Mammoth. Have a gold lead right now. They acquired the first Drake as well, but as is seemingly the tradition in most of these games, you just do trade, and that means Chiefs go for the Herald instead. Mikru's on for another kill attempt, and there's another exhaust, but it's going to be the same story. Rakan, double shield, is that enough? It is! Unbelievable to protect their mid laner. Out comes their punch. Alidoric wants to kill, and that's what he'll find as Tally takes down Mayfan.
And it's just Alidoric diff once again. The Rakan comes in clutch. Guardian as well as the double shield from E. Finds an engage angle to take out this Zed as well. Meanwhile, Topoon just putting on an absolute clinic top lane. And the Chiefs just hit the gas.
And that's why you ban Rakan against Alidoric. The best in the league, and it gets some, what did you mention? International reputation for it as well as just how strong he is on the spec.
Yeah, he's got some renown for sure. It is known. It has been said by the Chiefs themselves that it needs to be banned from them. And this is what happens, right? There was a Xayah Rakan meta in the LCO that was a result of Alidoric and Violet just being too good at those champions. You ban away half of the duo, usually that would counter them, but not Alidoric. He'd still pick it and he'd still win. They're just that good at it. And Mayfan, once again, just here to crash the top wave. And this sucks for Mammoth. And the reason is Paprise is constantly having waves cleared, which means experience is being shared. And so that dream of the level 16 is rough. But this time around, they have enough health. They might stick around for plates. Mikru here for a dive.
He is here for a dive about 15-20 seconds before his ult's up and available once again. Nice screen just went absolutely in your face about it. We're on Rave, win the game, and we're only partying as that kill does work eventually in favor of Paprise.
Yeah, the beat drops under the turret. the Kale ultimate comes in. Couldn't even tell until afterwards. But hey, Topoon ends up going down, and Mammoth, once again, they find themselves an angle and still keeping themselves in this game.
Look at those stats, though. 5 games, you've only died 0.8. I mean, it's just unbelievable for an engaged champion like a Rakan.
I mean, the KP says everything, doesn't it?
For sure.
85% kill participation.
That's the impact.
Large from Alidoric. But this is still big, right? Like, for Mammoth as a win condition, Kale on the board. Down 20 CS, equalized by the kill, right? They get a couple of plates up there, which equalizes the experience and money taken away by Mayfan crashing waves. So they've actually done a lot of work to ensure that Kale stays in this game. You would expect that they have that recipe down pat.
Nice work here from Tally, actually. Just really working some magic with those Q charges. He hits the seismic shove as well, and reminds Mikru that you can look to assassinate me, but I'll try and chunk you down before.
It's a dive threat. They have a Rakan, they have a Talia ultimate. I think the distance that Talia covers can get here well and truly as the wave crashes.
Have no flash and no ult, so he's in a lot of trouble right now. There's a window where Chiefs can really look to try and exploit it. Topoon starts things off by getting the turret aggro. That's 2 turret shots to his name, and it's just a clean disengage away. The easiest dive you ever see. We get gold from you, and we'll get these plates too.
Yeah, so clean. Herald to be summoned, tower to be taken. All of the good work of Mammoth towards topside gets undone in terms of control over the map. Tally able to hold mid off as well. Raze will find himself Mayfan.
Yeah, chilling smite, and he's already dashed, but he didn't
wall.
dash across the wall, as you highlight. Doesn't really stop him, because Alidoric uses him as a tag team and just jumps in with the grand entrance, and there's the charm. Mayfan hits the ghost and just drifts away.
Second turret taker top lane though, because Mammoth trying to cross-map trade do not have the ability to keep up with the tempo that a Rift Herald summon provides. And now Paprise is going to hold this wave. He isn't even going to trim the wave, he's just going to hold it.
It's been such a long time since we saw this play between Arthur and Topoon, right? That was their bread and butter back in Split 1. Get the first Herald, someone at top, and you just got 2 turrets every single time.
The Paprise is going to try and hold this freeze. My man's is looking for a permafrost, middle of Siberian Arctic. He wants to be up there for 10 minutes. Chiefs would have way too much freedom to play the map. The good thing for Mammoth, 2 Drakes secured.
Yeah.
That's not a win condition, right, in terms of cross-map from the Chiefs. There's a world that Paprise can hold that freeze, but I have my concerns for how the punish will look on the rest of the map if Topoon is unleashed to make something happen, and you can see he is actually looking to try and break that freeze potentially. Or take jungler camps away, dive mid lane, win the game while the freeze is being held.
Might just be saying, Mayfun, why are you farming more than some of your laners here? Let's look to try and address that. So I will just act as a second jungler. Can't get the CS in the lane, so might as well just deny your fun as well. 2 birds, 1 stone for them. And you already highlighted just how much mobility they have with the likes of a Talia and a Wukong. Well, if the Aatrox gets involved in it as well, the rest of the team really are going to feel the burden of having to wait for Paprise to come online.
Going to find each other. They're going to trade off. Mikru perhaps hunting. Mayfun seems like he wants to commit, but just a little bit unsafe walking towards the river. Topoon is going to head back towards his natural habitat and say, just cut it out. Like, just let the wave crash. He's had enough of it, and so it will start to bounce back, and this is where it gets dicey for the Kayle. But at the same time, dicey for everybody. 14 minutes in, Unleashed Teleport is available. You can't really play the game as Voice right now.
Tally, he's still going to try and zone Mikru from afar. He knows that's the play. He's looking for those 1v1s, those pick targets. So in he jumps, looking for the kill straight away. In jumps Aladoric, and it's fancy feet from these two. Instant flash away, and Topoon will have none of it. He's keen to be the world ender, and Raze is keen to be the star stopper as he just jumps on in. Massive handshake, blind on vision. There comes the laser. But Mammoth are tucked away quite pretty, and that entire dash all around the map ultimately results in just a cheeky ignite to end the deal. Back to bot lane we go, because that's where the fight is surely soon to break out. Aladoric going to tank up a storm. Gets handshook once, gets handshook twice, looks to try and run away. Hostile takeover goes across, but it's onto Azeri, which literally does negative DPS. In they jump, looking for the kill. Voice wants to get bailed out. Can he get a kill? Look how low they are! He couldn't find the kill on Topoon, not onto Aladoric. And that is so frustrating for him to see.
That was honestly quite well executed from Mammoth at the very beginning of the skirmish, right? Tally's been kept down, he can't roam, he can't help. Mikru's keeping him busy. Kayle was also split pushing that entire time, getting experience, getting farm, and getting the resources needed for Mammoth to scale into this game. And it was dicey from the Chiefs, but they choose to take the play. They choose to make it happen. They felt pressured perhaps for something to happen, but they succeed by the smallest of margins. The big thing here is that Mammoth keep the wave away from the turret. Aladoric gets handshook and loses majority of his health and has to flash to get the E over towards Topoon. So he's almost out of the fight. Arthur just comes in a little bit too large, I think, with his engage ability. Basically 1v3ing them while the rest of the team of the Chiefs was kept at bay.
It almost looked like an exhaust stiff right there, because if you got that one Ren set, then it's just unbelievable, one after the other. And you would just hop, skip, jump in around that bot lane and saying there is our highway to this mid game to buy enough time for this Kayle to come online. Level 10 for those Sonar laners. Chiefs going to answer back. Well, you can get 2 Drakes, but we can get 2 Heralds. And we're just going to take far more of this map.
One big thing here as well for Mammoth is when you break out of your traditional laning phase into more spread lane assignments, the Zed wants to be in a side lane always. Can he do that when Aatrox might be the one that answers is the question. Herald to be summoned in mid. Tally to use the ultimate to try and zone them away. Yeah,
using the Weaver's Wall begins basically shook right back towards this team. There's the seismic shove and an instant fate's call to get Ali G out of harm's way. But here comes Topoon, the pain train on the flank. Zeri removes 2. Once again, it's a disco party. Electric Carnival Wood is getting rowdy about it here on the Rift. 17 minutes in, and nobody from Chiefs is down.
In no one's eyes, they just get an extra turret for their... Well, basically anything they want is theirs at this point. They're too clean when it comes to the execution. Mammoth just left reeling. They'll concede objectives. They'll concede 2 members in their squad to the death chamber as well. And it just gets out of hand extremely quickly when Chiefs have control of the map.
Certainly do. The punishment is unreal, and just the fact that they can walk into lane, started off with the Weaver's Wall. Tally just walks into lane and it says, well, what are you going to do about it? And ultimately baited into a fight I don't really think Mammoth wanted to take.
No, they were pressured into it. And just thought they perhaps had an angle, and you know the answer was there from the Chiefs with no hesitation. It's still, once again, the ability to pick Kayle and say it's fine because I'm scaling into this game is all well and good until your opponent is Topoon. who just finds angles to control the entire map, snowball the game out with flanks. He does what a lot of other top laners in the league don't do. Same thing with Aladoric, right? Always hunting for those angles that perhaps no one else sees or sets up for. Really just pestering Mayfun.
Certainly has been a tough game for him to really find his mark in this one. Every single time I'm looking at that scoreboard, I just see him farming up an absolute treat. But on those limited gank expressions it has literally been run away.
Just like I was going to say prior to the fight happening, as Zed goes towards the side lane, Chiefs can play with the Aatrox matching the Zed, and it becomes a lot harder to actually play your champion, because you pick an assassin to try and, like, if there is a point in the game where the mid laner goes to the side, you have kill threat. He can probably kill Topoon, but to do so into what is currently played at Steel Caps will be a death stance. It gets harder and harder, especially when the team of the Chiefs is hovering Topoon's lane, which is the difficulty of Zed as well, right? It is now, it's going to be a Kayle and a Talia in the side lanes, and while that doesn't kill the Kayle, right, it just keeps the Kayle busy. It still has push, it still gives priority, and Tally with Unsealed Spellbook can cycle to a teleport to get into the fight.
Also, there's a lot of mobility with the kit and with the summoner choice, as you say. In we go. Aladoric's found the moment. Great little buffer there, but it's still not enough to try and disengage away. But the Shadow Step does come out afterwards. And it was just a combination, really, of multiple abilities coming out in quick succession to try and make sure that Mammoth can hold strong and prevent their 6th turret from falling down.
We didn't really get a chance to talk about this before, but Miku has looked really clean on the Zed, but here comes the Talia wall.
Weaver's wall, LG, insta-flash, not taking any chances whatsoever. That means this turret is gone. It's a hard force there from the Chiefs. Does a fight breaker afterwards. It's looking like it might just be Ultra Shock Laser across that wall. Out goes the hostile takeover. This is not going to do enough. Not enough to try and stop and deter Chiefs pressing forward. Look at the lifesteal onto Poon as he jumps into action with the Gore Drinker swung around. He will take you all down, tanking up the turret and tanking down your kills.
And just barely drops to the damage amping on the turret. Meanwhile, Paprise with teleport, just quietly, doesn't come to help the play, doesn't come to influence the play. I think it is fair to say that Mammoth have really looked at the state of affairs in this game and said, Paprise, our Lord and Savior, thou art in top lane. Just farm, please. Just farm. Give us experience. Give us 3 items. Give us a chance in this game. You see this once again. This is the second half of the fight. Talia wall will separate them. LEG's ultimate has been good, but as it actually dissipates, it doesn't mean too much because they've got Raze in the backline dealing damage. Topoon, the damage is done from him as well. And Tally picks up the double kill, just constantly spreading out that damage source. There's a lot of buffering from the champions of the Chiefs as well. Renata ult hits. Tally's throwing pebbles anyway. He's still going to throw them. Yeah. Even if he turns to auto attack someone, who cares? Zeri, doesn't matter. It's a passive auto attack.
Probably most scared of Aatrox really at this point.
Yeah. It also isn't a level 11 Renata. Again, the duration reduced as here they go again.
Here they go again, absolutely. Very quick. Shrelia's popped. He is quick and he's got the quickness to try and find those targets and to force out that Fate's Call. Mammoth instantly disengaging away, but Chiefs ramping up their attention really to this part of the map because Baron is on the menu.
Yeah, they'll up the pressure here very fast as well. They're just going to do it with Vision being spotted. You can see Kayle right now still bot lane. Teleport's still there from Paprise. This might be one of the situations where he feels pressured to teleport. We will see. I feel like conceding a Baron could be dangerous, and here they come. 4K health.
What do they have? They got a hostile
2K.
takeover. They got the Divine Judgment as well. Do they take a chance? No, they can't find it. After Sakusa, in goes the fight. Miku gets exhausted instantly, jumps on in with the death mark. Can't find the kill he's after. There's the handshake onto Arthur, who's got those clones, and he's got the kills. Paprise with 10 HP to his name. Flash disengage away. He's not dead, but his entire team is dead around him, and that's all it takes. You can TP in, but you're not a late game Kayle yet, and there's the ace.
He may not have been dead, but he may as well have been as the rest of the team already drops. Chiefs get the Baron, they'll get the ace, they'll find themselves with a 10,000 gold lead 22 minutes into this one, and they are just going to beat down the door of mid lane, and it's an inhibitor at the minimum, but I think death time is a little bit too low for Mammoth. It's probably not going to be the end just yet, but a comprehensive team fight win. Just clean across the board, no mistakes, no complaints. Chiefs just too good.
Certainly are. You can see the work that this Talia is putting in just with the amount of control in a concentrated space like that. Mammoth have respawned, but they may just bear witness to a second structure inside their base falling on down. There it is, the second inhib gone. And with a Baron buff, with still a lot of time left, Chiefs can do whatever they like.
Yeah, Baron recall, reset towards Drake, straight towards the bot lane inhibitor, right? Tutorial style ending if they want to. If Mammoth make a mistake, the game ends prior to the tutorial style. It is near impossible for Mammoth to find something.
Oh, it's a flash. It's a flash hard false. Instant exhaust, seismic shove into the minefield. And do you still chase on? Because
Mayfun's tenacious.
everybody's here. He doesn't have Ghost, but if he gets in range, there's a chilling smite. And Tally doesn't have the ult. He has to flash away. He's running out of options.
What if we just keep chasing, though?
He needs to get close to a wall. He needs some form of movement speed. There's the shove into another minefield. Just out of range. He's got full health to his name. Finally falls on down. But the great chase. It's kill Mr. Tally.
The patience will pay off for 1,000 gold, Skibby, but the Drake is free to disengage to a few of the Chiefs. They're going to see what they can get done in this bot lane prior. It was a lot of time purchased by Tally, all things considered. A long chase. No Z ultimate. Arthur just gets to disengage, use the clone. And they'll break the turret. Tally, when he respawns, also has teleport, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs actually hunt for an angle here. If Mammoth even consider getting to the Drake, perhaps through the blue buff entrance, you could just turn and burn.
4v5, 10k down. Still far too strong to try and force a fight in that situation, just given how much he burnt to try and get that individual pick. Another Drake denied. Soul point severely removed from the equation now. 2 items, 2 levels. The Kale Believers still out there.
Yes, there may still be KO believers out there, but they will be well and truly on the hopium. Clear ult going to come through, going to separate Mammoth. Ali G has got flash again if required, but he's going to use the ultimate instead.
Let's see if that one looks to try and haunt him back, because they have caught him. He flashes just out of the way of that minefield. It's a bit of a split team fight right now as Paprice tries to zone him from the left-hand side, but the bot lane of Mammoth are in trouble, and that means Raze is now on a killing spree, and why not find a second? Just ever so clean. They've removed 3 from the side of their roster inside your fountain. You're not even safe there. Another perfect ace. As Chiefs will say, this will not be a speed run. We will not improve that 21-minute record, but what we will do is dismantle the perfect KO win rate.
But look, Aladoric may die, but a Z ulting a Ricard is something that you'd take any day of the week if you were the Chiefs looking for a team fight execution. And they're just too clean again, the Chiefs, once they find their advantages. Mammoth, you respect the initiative, you respect the commitment to the cause that is the Chaos Scale in every single game that it's available. But Chiefs don't let you get there. They don't let you get to late game the same way other teams have. The mistakes that other teams make don't keep the door open for Mammoth. It is just a shutout.
Certainly was a bit of a shutout, and well, just the run continues, mate. That's all you can really say at this point.
Yeah, it looked good early. Mammoth's early game, like, really did give him a couple of fruits nice and early, but unfortunately, it's Chiefs, and Kale didn't get to, what is it, level 16, the power spike, didn't get to his extra items, and unfortunately, everyone else kind of, like, didn't exist after a certain point as well. Good to see difference in the mid lane for Chiefs today. A little bit of Tally keeping it spicy and some great walls as well. Walls which, well, I guess, you know, we haven't got to see that much Talia here in the LCO, but I feel like every time we have, I haven't seen too much creativity with that wall. Today, I was really enjoying how it was used, you know, isolating members from towers, being able to take those, also just trying to single out opponents, get that advantage, which inevitably like won them the game right at the end. But of course, at that point, the gap was pretty large in terms of the economy, and everything else was just a damn good time. You know, those double heralds as well, getting 2 tier 2s both times, just getting real deep with it. So yeah, crazy things going on today.
I really enjoy what Mammoth was trying to pull off, which is to get that early game rolling with the Zed and Kalista. Although I think this Renata could have been paired with, could have been replaced with a melee support just to fasten up the tempo just a little bit more and make plays around the map with that Udyr, because Udyr isn't the most reliable first engage in these team fights, and it's hard to make things happen around the map. And we do have some limit testing in that mid lane, which is the Zed into Talia, which is an assassin, and it makes things pretty exciting. But yeah, I think the main thing is just that Kale. You can't just pick Kale, and this game just proves that Kayle into good teams is quite impossible because the game won't go past 25 minutes.
Yeah, look, Tapoon having a blinder, Tally having a great game, Arthur always there with some sick engages and a huge amount of assists on the board. And then same can be said for Alidoric. Man came in clutch really early on. I believe he barely kept Tally alive and turned a play around into 2 kills for Chiefs. I think from that point, things got a little bit shaky, and that would have been when you see that little dip at the 10-minute mark there. Either way, lots of damage for everyone that needed to be doing the damage there on Chiefs, and unfortunately, the same could not be said for Mammoth. However, I do want to shout out to Mayfarm because we got to see an Udyr, do relatively well today, and that's something that isn't super common here in the LCO. A few of these Udyr games have been very lackluster indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that Udyr found angles, which is hard to do for a lot of teams, but the Ghost helped out a lot, and he didn't exactly have a comp or a team that helped the Udyr prosper at all. Like Kitty mentioned, perhaps an engage support could have been better, but at the same time, perhaps an engage in mid or top could also have helped him out, because Udyr does like having a little bit of gank setup and had none.
Very true. Very true indeed. Now, Kitty, I've heard that you've got a friend on the line.
Yeah, we do have Chief Manpower, the 21-0 split. The dream is going to come true, Alidoric. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're 21-0 this split.
100%. Now, talk to me about that game. What was going on at bot, and how do you roam like such a god? Is it just, a lot of practice, or is it just like a god-given talent? Talk to me.
Roaming is just all about tempo and timing, so I just knew that I had a timing on the support mid. When I saved James, it's just something that like you just learn over the years of playing. I guess it's just like a habit, mainly.
And undoubtedly, you are probably the best support we've seen in the league for this split. So if you were to give a message to all the fellow OC support players on what they could fix, what would it be?
I'm not really sure. Like, I think everyone just needs to watch more VODs, I guess, on how other supports roam. Because I think Rogue is second best, and he's probably the only support right now that knows how to use his timings properly. But I guess just watch more VODs on other professional supports, how they use their timings, how to roam, stuff like that.
And quickly as well, we spoke to Raze earlier, and he was saying that you needed to focus more on the bot lane today because you guys didn't feel as strong as you could have been yesterday in that game. Do you feel just at a face value level that you definitely improved on that one today?
Oh yeah, well, yesterday we did a bit of trolling, so there was that. But today was more of a we picked a scaling bot lane, so we just wanted to chill, get to our items. But we're winning lane anyway, so it went pretty smooth sailing for that game.
I'm pretty sure I've never seen a game where you've picked Rakan and you've lost lane. So, look, as long as that trend continues and they don't respect ban it, then they're in trouble. Either way, enjoy the W. We'll let you go.
Thank you.
Making
Chat
OC
with him.
great again. One step at a time from Alidoric.
Little quick tips coming through for all
Watch
your support
VODs.
mains as well.
Watch VODs.
Watch the VODs.
Yeah.
Be more
Watch VODs.
proactive, perhaps.
Learn, take notes, figure out how to be that Dare MVP. Speaking of, how about we have that discussion, eh?
That man there.
Ali?
I reckon so,
Yeah.
right?
Man.
Yeah. The big man. The
I
big
think-
dog.
Yeah, also that play where he does save Tally could very much be in contention for play of the day as well, because it stopped Mammoth from getting ahead, turned it into 2 kills, and allowed Chiefs to start just doing Chiefs' thing.
Shows that mid diff is support diff,
Yep.
as it always is, and most lanes are support diff.
I think a support achieves their goal when the other team is like, oh, this support's so annoying because you deny so many things. So Alidoric denying that kill in the mid lane is a prime example.
And if we give it to him, he's going to be jumping up with Kisei, I believe, 4 MVPs. So I think that seems pretty solid. All over the map. Let's give it to him. Dare MVP of the day for match number 2 was Alidoric, the man on your screens just before and on your screens right now. 1-1 on 18, 90% KP. If you had this man on your team, you'd be dreaming.
That's what's crazy about it, right? We saw his stats after 5 games. He just doesn't die, and he's always high 80s, high 90s in that KP. So, I mean, what more can you really ask for in a Rakan, right? It literally does everything. Hard engages, hard peels, the ideal support in that regard.
Really is. And Kitty, how much did you teach him? Or if you said that, would he then get angry at you? Because I'll give you an out on this one.
Regarding teaching, I think Alidoric is probably the support that teaches me the most in solo queue because you get punished so much if he ever plays support in solo queue, because I know he prefers to play jungle because solo queue teammates are not the best to play for, you know. But yeah, Aldoric Rakan don't lose challenge impossible.
Very true. I've got a few more challenges for you guys at home.
Never lose.
From the fans. Go find that tweet, answer questions, and we'll get them up. We've got some submissions from the fans to have a quick look at as well. And it is the question was, what is the silliest thing you did as a newbie to League of Legends? We got Minky Whale lol, buying Medjai's first item on every AP champ mid or so.
Silly things that Minky did as a pro, I could tell you those as well. I've got a list for old Trin.
I want to see that Gragas. I need that Gragas.
Do you have that list handy?
Oh, there's a YouTube video. I'll show you in the break. Yeah.
Okay,
it's my favorite video.
In a little while. And we've got another submission to have a quick look at as well. Thank you, Minky Whale, for that one. Alidoric, the man that was on your screen before, again, MVP. Look, they don't start perfect. Buying at least 3 Phantom Dances on every champ because I wanted to attack really fast. It makes sense. There's an angle.
Yeah.
Do they stack?
The old Phantom Dancer also used to give dodge chance. So it was stackable, and you just played Jax, who had dodge, and then you'd build 3 of them, and you literally can't be hit. It was a good time.
Alidoric is balanced.
The attack speed does stack, so
yeah.
Yep. It works. I guess can't really fault him. Was that different back in the day? Was it
the
not
old
like
Phantom
the hit
Dancer
with
was different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It used to be like 2 pink swords was the icon.
Yeah, it'll actually look better than the current icon, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's cool.
Well,
oh, you don't agree?
Nah.
You actually prefer the current one?
I don't think that's a base take. I think the current one just looks better.
I think.
You want to continue?
Can we hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know if they can hear what I'm hearing.
They can definitely not hear what we're hearing.
I feel like they're saying, no, Rusty, no. Like, that is a base take. That was the better skin.
It's just less pixels on the old item.
Exactly. And look, that is the first half of the day done and dusted. We're getting down to the real close games. Third one's coming up just after the break, so don't go too far. Right after this, we got PGG and Kanga. It's anyone's game.
Whatsoever that means, this turret is gone. It's a hard full save from the Chiefs. There's a fight breaker afterwards. It's looking like it might just be Ultra Shock Laser across that wall. Out goes the hostile takeover. It's not going to do enough. Not enough to try and stop and deter. Chiefs pressing forward. Look at the lifesteal onto Poon as he jumps into action with the Gore Drinker swung around. He will take you all down, tanking up the turret and tanking down your...
Hey, look. Menulog.
Have you got the how's it going down?
Should I try again?
Yeah. Remember, it's one word. One word.
How's again?
Yeah.
Not bad, mate.
Not bad at all.
You're in a team, but other teams will be doing it as well.
Oh, what? Oh, I thought I was versing around. I was like, this is a free win. Oh. Fuck, dude. I was so excited. There he is.
No, this is Viego skin, I think. Pentakill Viego.
What the? Oh, it's Lee Sin, isn't it? How's that Lee Sin, dude?
Mammoth. Oh.
Oh, is this is Darius? No. That's Volleyball. This don't look like Volleyball, bro. It's like an up.
Oh.
Yone. Yeah, see, my champ.
What skins does it go?
I don't know. I just don't know the skin name.
Oh, it's Yone.
It's Yone.
It's
Dawnbringer Yone?
Yeah.
Oh, Dawnbringer?
Dawnbringer.
Oh.
Okay, I know that one.
Oh, it's Yone. Oh my god, I'm so stupid.
Nice.
Dawnbringer? God, I'm so smart. That's one for me.
Okay.
Oh, Yon. Like, we don't buy skins.
Also, there's no real time limit until like...
That's just impossible to lose, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a Nivea.
Udia.
Isaiah.
I thought this is a really big champion.
Oh, it's a...
Oh, it's...
Paper something Nivea.
No. It's the...
Elderwood Nivea.
No, it's like... Ah, okay.
Nivea. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Nivea. Union Jack Nivea.
Is that even the skin name?
Peppercraft for Nivea? No. Cosmic Insight Nivea.
That's a rune. That's literally a rune. What goes with Phoenix and Nivea?
That's a date.
Dude.
Don't bring her Nivea.
Divine? Yeah.
Divine.
몰라. We don't know.
None of us play that champion.
Please get like some bot lane champs or something. And old. Because I'm a league boomer.
Audio.
Oh, is this Echo?
아크션?
네네.
아크션 아니야?
It's Vi from Arcane, Caitlyn. It's a guy.
Oh, it's Akshan. It's Akshan. What's the name of that Akshan?
Crystal Rose Akshan.
Akshan. The skin, like the first skin of Akshan.
Oh.
Like Cyberpunk.
Cyberpop Akshan.
Okay.
Oh, it's Akshan.
Yeah, it's Akshan.
And
It's like cyber something?
Cyberpunk?
Cyberpop?
Cyberpop.
Don't bring her.
뭐요? 스킬을 말하는 거야? 근데 어떻게 알아 영어를? He don't know.
He doesn't know an English name.
Chemtunk. Chempunk.
It's Cyberpop.
Good job, Alec. Well done.
Thanks, man.
Beautiful work.
Sold me.
I think no one will get the second one unless their mid laner plays a Nivea.
Like you don't know the names of the skins. No one knows the names except
There's too
Byron.
many skins.
I feel like by like the third zoom out, it's usually pretty easy. Yeah.
Alright. Oh shit. Alright, let me see. Alright. Who's your 5th person on your missed calls list?
Damn,
That's what we
dude.
need the phone for.
Alright, this is like a hot pot kind of angle, you know? Like whenever like someone's, you know, oh guys, we gotta cancel game 5, we've got hot pot.
It is an Uber Eats driver.
Oh.
That.
I mean, I think I would probably have a similar answer.
I don't really like not take calls unless I know. Like if someone's calling me, I know they're calling me and I won't miss it.
People don't use phones anymore.
But like I'll normally answer it as my friend. If it's like an Uber driver and they're calling me because they're downstairs, like I know you're down. Like I need to finish my
That's psycho
TFT.
behavior. They give that guy like a minute of anxiety.
What phone app can you not live without?
Damn, Mark, you're getting so good at reading. Yeah, it's TikTok. It's TikTok.
Realistically, probably like Alarm. Because like
Alarm's actually OP.
Like I need to wake up.
It's not really an
sometimes.
app, but like the time.
Well, like if it is an app, then Alarm because it's actually useful.
I mean, like the alarm is an app, but like time is also. Calendar is actually OP because you don't even have to open it to see the date. It's like I have it front page. Just see the icon. All right, next. You're stranded on an island with no internet, but you can have one song saved on your phone. What song and why?
Great question.
Yeah, this is one I was like, damn.
Great question.
You have a big playlist. You have like
I have like 2,500 songs. I don't know, probably like just like Kiss Me More with Doja Cat and Caesar. Some good vibes.
Yeah, that's true.
You've been arrested. Who is the first person you call and why? Like I would probably call my mom.
I mean, I wouldn't because she's kind of like really far away.
So's mine, but I wouldn't know what to do.
I'll probably call one of my mates. I do like barbecues every Saturday with my mates, and so I'll call one of them because like they'll be there to bail me out.
I would do my mom personally.
I wouldn't. It's too far. You got to think practically, Mark. You've got to drive all the way here from New South Wales to.
All right, I did Jake.
Damn, dude.
Do you think you know something new about each other?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Cool, that's it. So.
Damn.